Here's my boy, Oscar. Hey, very deaf these days, aren't you, mate? Looking old, 16 years old. Well, we're now going to put Oscar and Sophie, who's just coming back, in their crate. And here they are. Huffing and puffing. Sue's having a little job getting them in this morning. But
yeah, they're out of practice.
A little bit out of practice. But this is the crate that they sleep in whilst we're driving. It's all safely tucked in there, and as you can see down the van here, the beds are down there all stored away with the rubbish bin that's out of position at the moment. But here we are, two little furry faces. Well, good morning and welcome back to Poshcats cabin. I'm Trev and Sue is in the van with the dogs. We're off on a European tour, and this time we're going on our own, which is unusual for us. We normally have travelling companions, but those of you that have seen our channel and watched the Yorkshire Motorhomes will know that Tracy had a little slip earlier in the year, which meant she broke her ankle and is still having physio, but is recovering really well, I have to say. Well done, Tracy. Unfortunately, it meant that they've had to postpone their trip until later in the summer, but we're sticking to our schedule because we've got so many other things that we've fitted it in around. So we'll catch up with them in June and July, no doubt. We've already got plans for June and July to see Kevin Tracy. Sitting outside the house here, the van, I've been the last week or so, I've been cleaning it, getting it ready, putting things in, taking things out, as we do, and I'll talk to you about that as we go through this series of videos. We've also had a lot of paperwork to do, the insurances to make sure are correct, the mechanical side of the van checks, them sort of things. Again, I'll run through some of those as we go along. This morning we're heading towards Folkestone, and we have a train booked for tomorrow morning, which is via what we used to call Eurotunnel, is now Le Shuttle, and the train will take us to Calais at 10:15 tomorrow morning. In the meantime, we need to pick up our animal health certificates from Abbeywell Vets, and also we're going to stay at the Canterbury Aire, which is only £8 for the 24-hour period. So that's going to be our resting place for this evening, and we'll get an early night in, and then tomorrow morning we'll be fresh and ready for the journey into France. So that's about it. That's in a nutshell. We'll get in the van now, get on the road. We're going to head down. I'll put a map on screen here. We're going to head across Ipswich. We live in Ipswich in Suffolk, and down the A12 heading towards London. We won't actually go into London because of the ULEZ and all that stuff. We don't need to. We will use the ring road, which is the M25, and go over the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, which is the bridge over the River Thames. It's a toll bridge. Again, you have to make sure that you pay your toll, otherwise you come back to a bill. We wouldn't want that, would we? Let's get on the road.
One for the resting, for the adjusting, one for the tired hands, one for the letdowns, all thanks to this old town, one for the shattered plans. You know the time has come for breaking some new ground. I'll let you drive, so we will stare at views we can't believe we found. We'll feel alive. You're still my favorite queen of the night, my friend. Let's drive off again. Let's drive off again. Let us where we fall. Once know what's right, my friend. Let's ride through the night.
we've made it to Abbeywell Vets, and we've come round to the car park at the back of Abbeywell Vets. It's a working day and the car park is pretty full, but there are 3 spaces, at least 2 anyway, that are big enough for motorhomes to pull into out the back of Abbeywell Vets. So I'll take a picture from outside so you can see where we came in. There's plenty of room for turning. So we came in via the little road there next to the church, and the car park is here. This is for all the officers and things that are around us, and then at the back of Abbeywell Vets here there's 3 spaces.
You need a high throne where you can be adored. You'll get what you deserve. This town is no fun. Your life has just begun. We need to live and learn. You know the time has come for breaking some new ground. I'll let you drive, so we will stare at views we can't believe we found. We'll feel alive. You're still my favorite queen of the night. My friend, let's drive off again. Let us drive off again. Let us where we fall once know what's right. My friend, let's drive through the night. Let's drive through the night. We'll keep on going into the sun. We won't be slowing down all night. You're still my favorite queen of the night. My friend, let's drive off again. Let us drive off again. One for the rusting, for the adjusting, one for the tired hands, one for the letdowns, all thanks to this old town, one for the shattered plans.
Well, here we are at New Dover Road Park and Ride, and it's about £8 if you stay for the evening and overnight. The car park's pretty empty, as you can see, because this is early in the morning. I filmed it just before we left, and the building has a ticket machine on the outside and the inside. You have to pay as you leave, pick a ticket as you come in. It's all AMPR, number plate recognition, and over there is the compound. And behind the trees is an overflow area for motorhomes, and there's 1 or 2 that spill out onto the main car park. So here we are in the compound, in the main Aire, and down the bottom end here is where the grey water drop is, and bins to the left, water taps to the right. This is the tap for flushing your tanks, and bins are over there on the far side. And here's Nick, my friend, who's getting water. Well, we didn't have an early start. We were going for a 10:15 train, and when we left the Canterbury Aire, it was probably around about 8:15, something like that. And of course we paid for a ticket before we got to the barrier, and the barrier just lifts straight away. But when we got round to the roundabout, you'll see there was a school right next door to the park and ride, and there was a row of traffic which sort of held us up for about 20 minutes. But you know us, we're always ahead of the game, so we'd allowed enough time without this being a problem. We soon got down to the terminal, and key thing is to keep on the right hand side here, because the check-in on the left is for trucks, so you don't want to get caught in that lane. But as soon as you approach the ticketing booths, they are now all electronic as far as I'm aware, although in the past we have seen people in here that can help you with your ticket. But normally the AMPR, the recognition, the number plate recognition system, picks up your car, and there's a couple of questions to answer on screen, and then it gives you a ticket. Particularly if you have pets, it gives you a ticket, and you go around to pet reception, and you park in at Folkestone. You park in the car park. Now, before we get there, you'll see we'll drive down this road. Now, every time we've been to this terminal, the road's changed, and now on the right hand side here, we're actually in the European lane, but on the right hand side here you'll see the UK lane has been penned off or cordoned off, because this building here is ready for us to be checked before we go back into Europe. There'll be extra checks for us to enter Europe fairly soon. Now you do have to go into the lane that says other vehicles, not cars and motorbikes. First area was for coaches, and we pulled down in this one and joined another motorhome just here. We went into pet reception at this point and got the dogs checked and the paperwork checked, and after that we waited for the board to tell us that our train was ready to board, so we headed down towards immigration. And again, this road has changed a number of times since we've been here, since we've been coming here over the last 3 or 4 years, and it's quite easy. The signage, I think, this time was easier than previously. There weren't so many cones and temporary barriers, but this is the UK immigration passport control, and once you get through here, you'll see it's fairly quick, this one. Although we have been through quicker, I've cut some of the video out on this, but we have been through quicker at times. But this gentleman here in the high-vis jacket is, because we're a motorhome, he's going to ask us to go into lane 1 or 2 on the left here. We went into lane 2, and this is the Shuttle Eurotunnel staff checking vehicles. And for us, they like to check the gas and make sure that the gas is, the LPG tank is switched off. Now you're going through French immigration, and again we seem to get in the slowest lane. But the French passport control here checked our documents, our passports, and we were fairly quickly through. Now on this side of the checks, we have to make sure we go into large, not into cars. And we almost went into the flexi and the low. We want high or large, so look out for the signs. If you're a motorhome, you need to be in that lane, otherwise you'll end up on the train with the 2 decks, the top and lower decks, and you don't want that with being a high vehicle. So around this bit of road then you go to what we see at airports as being sort of the gate, if you like. This chap in this little hut tells you which lane to go in and which train you're on. Your ticket, I think we were G1, and your ticket has a train number on it. Our train was almost ready to depart, so the gate was already open. We drove straight through and round to boarding, and very shortly we caught up with the queue of cars and motorhomes that were going on to the train at this point. You see the trucks on the left, they're all going on a different train. They're open trucks on the freight trains, but we caught up with the queue here, and it wasn't many minutes before we went down the slope, and you'll see that fairly shortly. Now you do have to be a little bit careful here if you've got any overhang. There's quite a steep slope at the bottom here. You can see where several vehicles have caught the tarmac, but if you've got bikes and things like that overhanging at the back, but soon you can get on the train. And this is fairly level, it always is fairly level onto the trains. People are frightened of going on and off the trains. It's not like ferries. You pretty much just line yourself up correctly. If you're a longer motorhome, you've got enough space there between these carriages to get on and straighten up before you get into the carriage. And I always take time here and make sure I stay well clear of these dividing gates, because if you can't fit in the carriage, they have to shut those gates behind you. So you don't want to go too far, because remember, you've got cars behind you as well. So here we are, we're just being guided onto our spot. We have to put our handbrake on and put it in park, and then the compartments shut down. You see the shutters coming down there, and then we're pretty much away. Quick check-in. We just listened to the English version of the security on Le Shuttle, and we're 5 minutes in the journey. We're in darkness now, just the lights on in the train, and we're obviously underground or underwater, so I think we're just waiting. See you there. If we find somewhere to park for lunch, we'll find somewhere to park. Walker doggies, they've been very good. They're in the crate here still. Sometimes we get at the back of the van and have them finish our cup of tea, but I bought a Starbucks cup of tea, which was quite nice. And, so we're just relaxing for another 20-25 minutes. Nothing much to do. But, might just have another look at the map. You can never do too much preparation, and remind myself that I need to drive on the right hand side. I've just set the van to kilometres, so we've got the speedometer and the mileometer, as it were, the odometer, and now to set to kilometres rather than miles. And we're rocking and rolling. So we'll see you on the road the other side. Bonjour. Well, that's lovely. We're just about 500 yards from the Aire and Touquet, and this is just lovely. This tide is out, so it's quite muddy down there, but there's a beach, a sandy beach down there where people are enjoying what's left of the sunshine. We have had quite a sunny afternoon, but it's now late afternoon and we're going for a walk. So we arrived at the Touquet Aire, which is down near the marina, and there's another van coming in. Yes, lots of dogs. Lots of dogs, isn't there, Sue?
Yeah, one lady was lovely, wasn't she? They've got 4 big dogs, haven't they? And they all come to have a sniff.
And there's a walk. We've just walked along here. But yeah, very popular.
Very friendly.
And van's coming the wrong way round, tell him. There, and they're parked all the way down the road here as well. So this is where you come in, and the bins are just here, and there is a pay post. But Sue used the pay by phone app
I downloaded it.
because we didn't find any other very reliable. But there's several Brits here along this row.
Yeah, we've just been for a walk, and they've got a separate cycle track and walking into La Touquet.
So how'd you get on with that app then? You downloaded it?
Third time I did it, I managed to pay, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
got
I
a
thought she'd
tick.
paid 3 times. How much was it?
$15.80, wasn't it?
And the trick is?
To have 23 hours. If you go for 24 hours, you pay another €9, I think.
There you go. So,
We found the tap. Lovely friendly lady, got 4 different dogs.
yeah.
Sophie felt a bit surrounded. I think they just wanted to come and say hello, didn't they?
Yeah.
Alsatian. And then another lady got a border terrier.
So now we're going to have a little rest, and then we're going to walk along the other way, because there's just no
another
wind, is
walk.
there? There's no wind, and it's about 15 degrees, isn't it? 15
Yes, lovely.
Celsius.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the van.
Trees behind us.
So this is where we're parked here, and as I say, we're next to another English couple. And we parked on the end. Now, not everybody's cup of tea, because we're near the motorhome service point, but it doesn't worry us too much. We parked nose in first, so we've got the door on this side. We're fairly private apart from that, so it's quite good. We're happy. Good morning. We're off to the market. It's a Saturday, and Thursdays and Saturday in La Touquet are market days. So we're going to take a 20-minute or so walk into the old town. We've walked along the sea front, and it's just along here, lots and lots of parking, restaurants and things along here. There's a Lido there with a slide, and then we've come to this really lovely looking merry-go-round. And there's a sculpture of what looks like the Eiffel Tower. Well, we've come across the post office, and it's beautiful here at La Touquet. Lovely streets. Sue's happy. We found the market. All the stalls. Market stalls through here. What are you looking at?
Cucumbers.
Yeah, they're big, aren't they? Lots of fresh produce here. And the indoor market here now. This lovely building. And outside, a clock on the board. Oh, I found the sweetie stall. And out here, books. The wines locally grown, a wall of radishes and preserves.
Hey.
Pour les handicapés, médium. Pour les handicapés. Voilà.
Another lovely little square. A lot of buildings around and cafes. Just walking back towards the van now. It's really nice. People sitting outside having their lunch.
I like the flowers.
They're very pretty, aren't they? Yeah, you like the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, and there's, yeah,
Daffodils.
the big daffodils, yeah. Just down here.